Hi. My name is Oleksii, or you can call me just Alex. Everybody calls me Alex. I work at Codilime, and I've been in front-end for about 4 years. And today I will be advertising flexbox. So this is the road of layouts so far. First they were table layouts. I wasn't around when they were a trend, but the whole idea sounds a bit scary. Floats and inline blocks, that's what we have now, with all of its kludges, fixes, and hacks. Flexbox is the new trend, and grid is like the future. But I'm afraid that we will be really using it only in a couple of years. So my message today is very simple. Bring this new trend to life. There are several reasons why people do not want to start using flexboxes. First of all, browser support, and second, it's hard to start. As well, there is a group of developers which are really JavaScript pros, and they just don't want to deal with CSS at all. Probably that will change with flexboxes because they're really fun. So as for the first problem, actually all browsers support them, all modern ones. Of course, some of them have an older spec or don't support some features. So first of all, a good practice would be to use auto-prefixer, just not to deal with all the prefixes to support all different types of browsers. Second is using some scripts that feature detection scripts. You can write your own one or use a service like Modernizer. It just adds helper classes to your HTML tag, and you can use them for your fallbacks, which you can theoretically easily remove when you don't use this browser anymore. So both links to these resources and some other useful resources you can find following this link in their bottom left corner. As for the second problem, it's really easier than you think. This is how basically we should think about a flexbox. So displayFlex converts a container into some kind of grid with two axes, main axis and cross axis. And all the items inside of it become flex items. Like, it can be any element. This gives us a lot of power and control on our content. Here, flex start is on the left, and flex end is on the right. But we can easily change the direction to column, like here. And in this case, the axis will be rotated accordingly. So flex start is at the top, and flex end is at the bottom. And here is the actual properties that you need to know. This is for container. Display direction, you understand what it is, column or row, default is row. Flex wrap is what to do when your elements do not fit the flex container. Default is no wrap, but you can wrap them in two sides. And they can be combined into one property. So the next one is justify content is aligning items on the main axis, if we're talking about row flex direction. Next two ones are align items and align content. They align your flex items on the cross axis. so vertically in row direction. And keep in mind that these three properties rotate when you change flex direction. And some properties on the flex item. Flex grow. If you set it, you tell the element to occupy all the free space that it has between the neighbors. Flex shrink, vice versa, whether to get smaller when the container cannot fit the element. Flex basis is an important thing. It is both. On one side, it's maximum width when the element is set to be able to shrink, but it doesn't yet because it has enough space. Or it's minimum width when we say that an element can grow, but it doesn't have to because there is not enough space to grow. Of course, in column direction, it's all about height instead of width. So, and these three properties can be combined into one. Next is order. You can just manually set the visual display order of an element without changing order in markup, which is pretty cool. This is basically it, everything you need to know. Let's see some examples. I will skip the easier one for the sake of time. For example, vertical alignment. Imagine we have a card layout with a lot of cards like this, multiple. And every of them has different height of content. How do you make them all the same height? When you cannot, like, you will either set minimum heights or split these list items into rows in markup, or if you will not, then you will somehow try to clear fix it. So whatever solution you would choose, I have a better one. It's flexboxes. And all you need to do is add several properties and you're done. And yes, the element can be both flex container and flex item simultaneously, as you see an example of a card content class. And this heartless vertical centering. You remember this pain? What if the parent element and child element can be of any width and height? One of the solutions would be to add some hack, like a ghost element with 100% height. But I have a better solution. In case of flexboxes, all you need to do is just align items on the cross axis if the direction is row, right? And optionally, you can center it horizontally as well. How cool is that? And there are other examples like that. Position absolute for stretching things, that's what we do. How to deal with the ordering when we want to change it. Hacking floats and with clear fixes, that's what we usually do. Now you all know a solution for this. It's Flexbox. So what layouts would actually benefit from Flexbox? Actually, a lot of them, especially layouts like this, a card layout. We talked about it earlier. How to make these all cards the same height when there is different length of content. Flexbox gives us a flexibility actually in doing this. Next one, split screen layouts. Here we would rely on minimum height or stretch with position absolute, these two panels, or do some other hacks. but flexbox just makes them equal height, these two sides, and gives you some options for vertical centering of the content. Multi-column layout as well. You might have heard that CSS columns are not that good. But with Flexbox, again, you can split the list into multiple columns without splitting the markup list. And different kind of dashboards. They can benefit in many ways. So, well, that's it from me. My message is get your hands dirty with Flexbox, or should I say, get your hands clean, maybe. And make sure to check out the link below. Thanks, and have a good day.